Hello to everyone in the internet. Hello, everyone. Let me just make sure sound's coming through okay. Check, check. And the internet hears me, and there was much rejoicing. Okay, I actually am going to be doing some really crazy stuff with texturing in 3D Coat. Actually working on that ship. This is actually the test cube I was doing just to make sure my crazy ideas would work. So there's that. Let's go back to the project where we were. This will just take a second. And now we're back to our ship. And what I'm going to do before I do too much, I'm going to put on some music for me. Just hang on. Like I said, the stream I was practicing before I had to start this, so this is going to be interesting. 1 second. Just looking to find some music. Just found a playlist I like. I'm just going to have that playing in the background. We'll make sure it's not playing on stream. That'd be special. Yep, not hearing it on stream. So we're good that way. And let's get started. First thing that I'm going to want to do with this thing is, well, we're going to have to separate it back into polygroups because that's kind of a good way to texture it. So we're going to need to start splitting things. Go to select tool really quick. I'm just going to stay with the mouse here. Let's see if we can find a loop that works. This will be fun. Yep, it's going to be interesting. All right. Let's have to trace this on down. Yep, it follows me. Good, good. Nope, not all the way. No, it keeps wanting to trace that. So, like I said, we're going to have to do some manual, just holding down the shift key and tracing on down. And we're going to keep tracing. Basically just separating the saucer from the neck. And find our place. There we go. Just using a lot of the Alt key, the middle mouse button to rotate. And we're just going to go right on through here. And we're going to split it. We're going to hit, just take a look here. Split edge. There's your saucer. We're just going to select a random face and just hit plus to just balloon out. And yep, it's going to go ignore the split, so we're going to split those. Just hitting the plus key like crazy. There we go. And we're just going to call this saucer and send the faces here. Now this is going to be a little tedious, just forewarning everybody. It's just the fundamentals of getting this taken care of. We will not be doing any major geometry deformations, none of that, because they stretched last time and that wasn't good. Let's see if we can get L to make this easy. Yeah, it actually did. So we're going to split that. And just go back to random face, and here we go. Yeah, I made some issues with extrusions the last time. Oh well. And it just fills up where we split it. And we'll probably divide these down a little bit further because this is actually going to make texturing a lot easier. We won't be playing Hunt the UV Island. At least, I hope not much. We're going to make a separate for the neck. Let me make sure I can spell neck right. There we go. So that's taken care of. I'm going to divide this down just a little bit further. Yeah, I'm looking right here. We might want to divide this for like the impulse engine. Because, well, Trek lore. Let's see if it'll play nicely with me. Maybe? Not really. Okay, it needs a little help. Sometimes you just gotta do manual stuff. Problem with automatic stuff, I'm finding out, is it doesn't quite give it to you the way you want. It's kind of their way or the highway. We're gonna split this. Alright, it's looking all colorful and cool looking, but yeah. Yes, hopefully this will turn out right when it's time to texture. We'll see. This is going to be a little interesting. And we'll probably split that down a little further. There we go. Let's see. Is this going to play nice? Maybe. We're going to select a few of these, and we're going to do this a little bit different. We're not going to rely on splitting edges. Actually, who am I kidding? Let's do it. This actually might be easier. Just got to get in really close there. There we go. And careful not to lose our place. Nope, that's not working. No, it needs a side there. Just that one little part. And you get lost like that, just zoom out. And we're going to split that. Go back here. We're going to call this impulse engine. Just because Trek. And it'll be easier to assign materials later. All right. And we're going to hop back over to impulse engine area, and we're going to block off one other part here before we check out some other areas. Hopefully the L key plays nicer. We'll see. Yeah, it did actually. Let's hold down shift, and there we go. Probably like, yeah, this is actually a square. I can see it. All right. Split this quick. And we're going to go back to selecting our faces again with a plus key on the keyboard. I kind of got a handy dandy number pad. And we're going to call this impulse frame. Now, if I remember correctly, there was a 3D Coat update where you could nest things. I don't know whether that's on 2026 or not. We're going to find out right now. Nope, not yet. All right, I got the neck. Don't really need to do anything with that. We're going to split this edge here for the hull. I'm going to finally go back to using the select area there. And it is going to be difficult. Yeah, those aren't lining up. Well, we'll see what we can do. Let's see what the L key does. I tell you what, since visibility is poor, I'm actually just going to go with it. And we can undo if this is a bad idea. Split edge. I think that did the trick. We're going to find out in just a minute. If it spills over, then we know we didn't do it right. If it spills over to the neck, it didn't. Yeah, this is actually the hull, so what I'm going to do instead is we're going to rope off the wings and hope it plays nice. Control D to deselect everything. And yeah, that's pretty deeply integrated. We'll see if it goes for it. Nope. Yeah, that's a bad idea. Nope, still a bad idea. So we could do this a different way, since we're selecting the whole thing. This is going to be... And we'll do it from the front, not the back. All right. We're going to try something else here. I'm looking at it, it's the right bay, I think. Oh, and check the back faces quick. Nope, they're not getting ignored. Good, that means we're going to go straight through. And the good news is it looks like we can go right on up. We just got to be careful where we stop. Oh yeah, we got a ways. Come on. Let's make sure we stop at a good spot. Yeah, that actually looks good. So yeah, I guess you don't have to use split edge for everything for polygroups. So we're going to add this using this command here. And send this to right bay and hope it took. I hope. Nope, doesn't look like it. There we go. That'd be handy. Okay. Yeah, the hull's the rest of it. Let's make sure everything is the way it should be. Yeah, it's hollow. That annoys me, but it is what it is. Our impulse and saucer are all there. All right. Oh, that's not good. Nope, still didn't. That's not good. Probably did something stupid. Let me figure it out. Okay, yeah, we gotta have the hull selected. And then we go to right bay and we hit drop. And did it do it? No. Oh boy. Alright, got the selection the way we want. Let's see if we can do some kind of a separate. No, there's sharp. Bevel. We don't want to touch bevel right now. Well, see what happens if we hit split edge. I might live to regret this. Will it move? No, I don't think so. No. Well, we'll do this the hard way, or we'll just do a reselect. I don't know. Actually, we could do it right here for the edge, or right maybe here. That might actually work better. Okay, yeah, we'll do it that way. There we go. That looks better. Just hammer that plus key and make sure we're good all the way through. Yep. And we're going to try to send that to right wing really quick. There we go. Alright, that takes care of that. We'll go back to the hull. And we're going to do this the same with the other side. The good news is they're symmetrical, so there's that. Just hit the L key on the keyboard. And split edge. And we're just going to hit here and just hit the plus sign like crazy. One more time. It really clears a bunch of polys when it kind of multiplies it like that. It's really nice. New poly group. Left wing. Oh, let me get chat running. Yeah, I'm definitely not a big social guy, but here we go. Whoops. If anyone was in chat, I am really sorry. I forgot to load it. Alright, there's the wing. Alright, and now we're going to go back to the hull. The hull's just kind of at the end. We'll call this the tail, I guess. And it looks like it's already separated. We're just going to go for it. It's going to take the engine. We'll separate that later. We'll see if it actually goes to the hull or not. It doesn't. Happy day. And we're going to call this the tail. I'm going to send these here. Yeah, tail's mutable, left wing mutes, right wing hides. It looks like a real mess underneath. I'm just saying. Alright, now we're going to go to the tail and we're going to separate the engine. Let's see, this one looks like a nice little candidate. That one looks messy. Let's see what this one does when I hit L. Perfect. I'm going to split that right there. Split edge. And we're just going to do the plus key thing again. Goes right around. See, when we get a texturing, we could also select these as objects instead of playing whack-a-mole with a UV map. And that's a mess if you've seen some of my other streams. We're going to make another poly group for engine. And hopefully I can spell it right. Yep. I do wish they would make 3D code a little friendlier for people with visual issues. I'm just saying. All right. And let's add that over. Whoops. We accidentally removed that. There we go. Managing chat windows, fun. There's one engine that is mutable and very ugly without it. All right. We're going to grab a couple more things in this area before we go to UV mapping. Then we go for the fun stuff. Ooh, that went right around. That is beautiful. That's the intake frame. Excuse me. Back to engine and we hit split. Split edge. Just kind of work our way in is kind of the way I'm playing it. All right. There's the frame. Beautiful. Then we got to do the actual engine. We're going to do that momentarily. It just so happened I have decent edge flow in here. We'll see how good it really is in a minute. Did it get it? All the way around. Perfect. Or barefictic for anyone who gets the reference. And we'll do a quick split edge. There we go. And the actual intake. Yeah, I know real space physics is probably different, but it is what it is. I'm the one building this ship. The captain can call it whatever he wants. I'm going to move that to intake. There we go. It's a real pity I couldn't just do a raw selection, but you know. There's the exhaust. Let's see how close I can get this. Oh, awesome. Split edge. And yeah, this thing's good enough. I think I'm actually not going to do maybe one more thing with the geometry. I'm kind of eyeballing the end caps, maybe turning them into armor for whatever. So I'll probably just do that, maybe a very light extrusion, but I'm mostly done editing the geometry on this thing. Okay. Engine exhaust frame. Okay, now I gotta remember where I was. Lovely. Oops. There we go. All right. It's like, yeah, don't fall asleep on the stream. Let's see if that tracks. Not quite. What a mess. All right, well, we're going to have to work for this last one. Actually, no, I don't think so. I think it actually did make it. We'll find out. Yep, it made it. Engine exhaust. We'll hit the frame one more time. Face select. And we're going to move that over here. And for some weird reason, we're going to have armor on this thing. So, yeah. Alright, don't ask me why. I'm just gonna. We'll see if this one L's out right. It does. And if not, we're going to know in a second. There's your edge. Just kind of almost doing fly-by-night vertex colors on all this, but hey, I'm not going to complain. Call this engine intake armor. This is just aesthetics. And back on engine, there we go. We're going to get this categorized right. That goes here. All right, because yeah, we want this to be not that simple. This nice curve here will be nice to use. There's the right bay. We'll pick right about here and hope it loops right at that fold. And where is the split? Split edge. I'm going to make another group. Save it really quick. Armor. There we go. Or bay. It's not really a wing, but it just kind of looks like one. Whatever. Alright. There's right bay. And this is the just selecting everything right up to the seam. Right bay armor. We're going to push that right there. Okay. This is going to be left bay armor. And we'll just select the left bay really quick. Or left, we'll correct that. It's not a wing, it's a bay. This thing is a cargo ship. Alright, that's a pretty noticeable crease right there. So we'll just kind of go with that. I didn't really feel like fighting with the symmetry tool. If it looks slightly off, oh well. And split edge. We're just going to get this all divided. And a left bay armor. Now we're going to do something a little different. And hopefully it'll let me keep this. Just hold shift. Nope, that's not going to work. There's right bay armor. Let's see. Nope. Well, let's see if we can actually figure out maybe hard numbers as far as how much we can extrude. Alright. It's left bay armor. Now let's head over to Smart Extrude. Let's see if we have numbers. That is not too big. But we're going to have to use symmetry and hope we're on the right plane. And we're going to symmetrize everything and hope this works. Because I didn't want to have to do this, but... Nope, wrong. But we are going to turn symmetry back on momentarily. But we're going to grab the other side. And since we don't want to hit plus endlessly, there we go. Let's give it just something nice, a nice and thick resize. Because we want it to look like majestic armored plating. And the whoops. And it's already yelling at me. Lovely. Alright, well, I'll tell you what. We'll do it this side then. If it's going to keep yelling at me. That is, like I said, it can be a bit of an interesting time with code. Oh, we don't want to ignore those, but I don't know why that wasn't selected. We'll do this the... Okay, it's playing whack-a-mole with me. Well, this may work, it may not. Alright. Okay. That's a disaster. Let's try the select transform tool instead. Alright, yep, this looks to be a bad idea all around. We will fix that in the material stage. So strike that. We're going to divide up the saucer in a minute. We do need to do anything with the hull? Maybe a couple things. Maybe not. No, we'll draw things on it. We're not going to do much with it. There's our saucer. Let's look for a big bend right here. I'd say right about here. It's a little broader than the actual Enterprise, but hey, it is what it is. If I wanted something more precise, I'd sculpt it and auto-tope it, and I'm not ready to put you guys through that yet. We're going to nuke symmetry for a minute. And split edge. Oops, I don't know what I hit. Here we go. Yep, definitely hit the wrong thing. Alright. And bridge. There we go. We're going to move those there. And one bridge. Uh-oh. That didn't actually move. Well, we're going to have to move it. Let's try again. Okay. That looks better. Looks horrible without anything, but yeah. Alright, we're going to get the captain's yacht. Let's see where the curve happens. And the edge flow is a little wonky. So we're going to have to be picky. I guess I didn't do that perfect, but oh well. Let's go to edge. They start to smooth out right here. What happens if I hit L? You know, we're going to call it there. Yeah, sure. You know, this used to be the captain's yacht in TNG, but oh well. We're just going to go with it. Split edge. Face select, and we're just going to hit plus till the cows, well, they already mooed. I probably misspelled yacht, but oh well. Gonna move those. And we're going to do some special areas for the saucer rim. It's going to be its own group if I can hack it. This might be, oh, you got a big old bevel right there, so we're going to try to get in behind that. Or maybe in the first part of it. Actually, that'd be... make more sense. Let's see what L gives us. Okay, not perfect, but I mean, we're literally going right up to the edge. Well, this might work. Let's try it. Perfect. That actually went really well. Now let's take a look down here and see what L gives me. That kind of worked. Let's see what we carve this thing into. And as Riker once it was stated, they're carving us up like a roast. And it's the Borg for you. All right. Well, I guess we're carved into 3 pieces. We'll just go with it. All right. Saucer north. Yeah, definitely show love to your CG artist after this. And we're just going to move this to saucer north. There we go. And the south. Issue, no grits. Very sad. Actually, no, forget grits. There's other stuff we like about the south, like Dragon Con, but hey. Saucer south. There we go. Okay, did it actually copy? That's the question. Not sure. Let's try it again. There we go. That looks better. And actually, I think this is the last part of the saucer that's just, we're just going to call this saucer mid. All right, now let's get everything together. Well, we're going to actually expand this because it's going to be a little challenging for a minute. There we go. South, we're going to get that up here. And there's saucer north. Right up there. Bridge. Captain's yacht. There we go. And I think we're actually done with the playlist. It really has been that long. Yikes. 45 minutes. I can go longer. Not that tired. Right. Alright, let's take a look at the neck. We got all your impulse engines and all that. That's engine. Put that right under the neck. Right bay and left bay, we'll put those actually by the hull. And the armor, which we'll figure something out with that. Well, that's engine. That's the tail. Right bay armor, left bay armor. Yeah, hull, got the saucer. Pulse engine, tail engine. Yeah, I'd say we're pretty well organized. We're going to redock this right here. Just got to be very careful, but, you know. And it can be a little fitty. We'll just be honest. All right, we're just going to leave that as is. And I'm actually going to save this as a pre-UV because UVing, you know, if you mess that up. Let's see if I can find my ship. Well, we'll get that taken care of a little later, getting organized, but... Cargo ship 3. (2026) cargo ship 3 pre-UV. And then we're going to save it incrementally, and that'll be post-UV, because we're about ready to go wild with the UV maps. This is going to be fun. Let's see what the baking does for us. Just going to do a quick bake. Blender, initial subdiv. We'll Do a tiny bit maybe. UV mapping, keep UV. And actually we're going to do this to 4K. We want to be fancy. Yeah, that didn't take so long. My computer isn't completely screaming, so that's nice. Uh-oh. And whoops. We might just reopen that one, that old one. We're not going to save that. Let's see where we're at here. Yeah, that one kind of started on the groups. This is going to be a mess. Let's have a look. Yeah, that was nice and smooth. This one, not so much. Do I want to mess with it or don't I? I'm thinking no, that's an optical trick. Alright, we'll just save it incrementally and not worry about it. Actually, we'll open the one we had open. Alright, I think that's where we were when we had them baked. Let's take a look at the UV room. It's not there yet. Lovely. Topo modeling. We might regret it someday, but I'm not caring. It's getting late. Okay. We'll rebake them one more time. Again at 4K, please. And hopefully it can handle multiple UVs without choking. Is this the first time I've ever done this by part? I usually do it by UV, but it became whack-a-mole with UVs. Alright, we finally are in the UV room. That's nice. And mostly everything's fine. Okay. Okay, well, we'll add a couple. This is seeming a little too good to be true energy right now, but we will keep you posted. Actually, we'll turn on symmetry because symmetry actually is better when you're not in the modeling room. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to see what happens when we try to unwrap this. Okay, that actually looks decent. We're just going to apply this. Well, isn't looking terrible. It's not too far off from what I had in mind. I think those are kind of ugly, but oh well, I think it actually did go a little bit rogue. Well, let's pack them. Let's do a quick unwrap. Okay, yeah. It's not the best, but it's not awful. Pack and apply. Yes, we know. I'll either love this or regret this. The jury's still out. All right. Yeah. We're going to end this. Okay. Not as much of a wreck as I thought. Okay. Let's go to paint. Yes, paint room's complaining. Well, that's why we do what we do. Come on. Okay, let's have a look at the texture editor and make sure that's nice and clean. There's no sculpt tree to mute, but we're gonna mute that. We're gonna save this for texturing. Cargo ship 3, texturing. All right, she's looking pretty beautiful, actually. We'll just hope the parts hold together. What we're going to do here is we're going to add layers for different materials. We've got a base matte and a base shiny, and we're going to actually mix the two. Brand new techniques I'm showing you here. Now, granted, I'm not going to go over what I used to make these. These are two-dimensional images that I made in Krita, but those are going to be little tiles that go on top. We're going to use a black mask to mix between two textures. First of all, let's make sure we're writing everything specular and normal and all that. Make sure we're good that way. There's your objects. I'm going to move this over a little. Well, we're supposed to move that over a little. All right. Well, there's our layers. We're going to make one base glossy. And base matte. Hopefully I'm spelling it right. And I made some handy-dandy materials early too. I just hope I can find them. There we go. There's glossy. And we're going to find out where we want to put this. We actually have this separated into objects. So there's that. And we're going to see how this works. We're going to put this on the hull to start. There we go. And the right bay. We're going to get preview out of the way. We actually just spent all that time with that cube experimenting with this. We're going to add that to the left bay. There we go. Beautiful. We're not going to add it to the armor. We got a different material we're going to add to that. Saucer north, most likely. Saucer south. Mid, sure. We'll add that. And south. Let's see where we're at. Do we want the captain's yacht to have it? I actually would say no. Okay. Let's go to the neck. Add that to the neck. There we go. And looks like they are respecting how they have that organized. Frame and engine, not so much. The engine area, we might add that. Here we go. It looks a little melty, but oh well, we worked with what we had. And the tail, for sure. That's going to have that material added. And the main engine part. Yep, there we go. Although I am thinking we probably won't add it anywhere else on the engine. So I think we're done with that layer. It looks pretty well laid out. I guess I'll pat myself on the back. All right. That could have stood to be used something else. Yeah, we're not going to re-UV map it. We're liable to maybe paint something on top of it when the time comes. We'll just have to reserve that for later. All right, now we're going to use the same ones for the matte layer, Y. This is going to be a combination of the two. And a few other parts are going to get it. All right, the engine, well, we're going to go back up to the hull. That gets it. Okay, yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. Switch materials, please. There we go. And hit the hull. And actually, we really need to find a way to ditch the wireframe. All right. There we go, the W key, of course. Now it looks all smooth and cool. All right. It's not going to look too cool for long. Right bay, left bay. And now saucer north. And this looks like I'm desecrating the poor thing. I don't mean to. Saucer north. Saucer mid. Okay, that does look a little strange. Uh-oh. Don't tell me they stretched. Well, nuts. We're going to mute that real quick and see if there's any issues. Yeah, there certainly is. I don't know how that happened. Maybe it was a bad bake. Yeah, that's really terrible. Yikes. Well, we're going to treat this more like a little experiment. We're going to ignore this part and maybe I'll redo that off screen. I don't know. All right, well, we'll hit saucer north. Yeah, definitely not watertight. All right, we'll do saucer south. We'll just pretend that didn't happen because we kind of want to make some headway on this. Look at the neck. And we'll get the impulse pad engines too. Wow, it did not stay together. Well, we're just going to go with this. We're just going to soldier ahead, hit the tail, and lastly the engine. Now, I promised you something decent and special. What we're going to do is we're going to do a mask in between these. So I'm going to right click and hit add layer mask. And hope coat doesn't crash on me. There we go. Good coat. And now we're going to fill it, but we're going to try with different patterns. We're going to use stencils, and I have some custom ones I'd like to try out. And we're going to use the fill tool, and the fill is going to tell me what's what. Or it's just going to go nuts on me, and nothing is going to work. Oh, that's a fill object. Never mind, my bad. Let's fill the saucer north. And see what happens. Yeah, it's not doing it enough. Whatever it's doing. Nope. That is not what we planned. I think we imprinted, yeah, we imprinted it on the... Let's make sure we're not doing that to the item. Let's make sure we're doing it to the mask. Let's try one more time. Yeah, it's giving height information, not blending materials like it should. Nope. It's not that. Okay, yeah, this is telling on me right here. Let's have a look. Doesn't mix height and doesn't mix alpha. It's still not doing the job. Okay, that actually looks nicer, but I don't know about that. Yeah, that's just layering on color. We were working with a mask before. Let's do something different then. We're going to remove that. And now let's add a clipping mask just for funsies. Nope, still not doing it. Huh. It does not want to cooperate. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. There's material preview. And it is doing normal. Just a second. Let's see if I can troubleshoot this. If I can't, well, the art stream may end up ending, well, not prematurely. It was supposed to last an hour. It's actually going over. Let's try a few more things. This is supposed to work. Let's try blending in black instead of white, just in case I have it mixed and upside down. Not even sure. Actually, let's turn on the others there and see what it does. Nope, not working. Well, I may end up having to fix my model. And yeah, this is supposed to blend, and this is kind of the heart and soul of this tutorial. I guess I am going to end this art stream here, and we're going to start gaming, and I'm going to figure out what went wrong in, well, both cases. I will be back in a few minutes for gaming. Thank you.